on my own. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames won't burn us.
Hey guys, so welcome back to another video, and today I'm doing What If Deku Was Revenant, Part 1, in honor of Season 5 releasing. I decided I would do this, and also because I have been wanting to do some more gaming-related What If Dekus, like, sorry for the wind, I'm sitting outside, and that's hold on real quick, that's a reason why I haven't been posting recently. It hasn't really been nice outside, and I don't really want to post unless or record unless I'm outside, because I get distracted very easily. And right now this has to be like the 14th retry of this. I'm just not very I'm not focused today, because today I went fishing, and I'm tired from that, but I thought I needed to get a video out to you guys. Today would be the day. Because this morning it was cold and rainy, but now it's, partly cloudy, and with a breeze, it's just nice out here. The birds are chirping. I know you guys can hear the birds chirping, I think. So yeah, like I was saying, I wanted to do some more what ifs, like, what if Deku was a Fortnite character? Sorry for the plane. Gosh, of course we have to live right next to an airport, an airfield, whatever. Gosh. Like I was saying, I wanted to do more gaming-related what-ifs, like what if Deku was a Fortnite character, or had the Fortnite character's abilities. Like, say, he can build out of thin air. He has increased strength, increased speed, knows how to fly a helicopter off the bat, has increased aim. Or what if Deku had an RPG quirk? And in case you guys do not know what RPG means, which most of you should, it means role-playing game, or role-play game. Which basically means, you role-play as an elf. You have the elf's abilities. Or you role-play as a highly trained marine or something, and you have a health bar and all that. I mean, basically every fighting game has a health bar, but for some reason, when most people do an RPG, they have to, or when people do RPG related what ifs, they have to include the health bar and learning abilities and all that. So go ahead and vote, like, right up in the sorry about the wind once again. Go ahead and vote which one you would like to see when I do that game video. And also, I'm almost at 400 subscribers. Right now, I'm pretty sure we're only 21 subscribers away. And when we hit that 400 subscribers, I will be continuing at least 10 of my most popular videos, or 10 of my most popular what-ifs. Because I haven't forgotten about you guys. I haven't forgotten about who has helped me get this far, and who subscribed, and, like, why you subscribed. I haven't forgotten. I know there must be a particular series that brought you to my channel. So, I hope that video is on is on my top 10, because, I find it very difficult to do videos like that, because, since they're a continuation, they don't bring in too many more subscribers, unless the subscribers watched part 1. So that's why I have been doing I've been doing new series. And someone commented on one of my videos and pointed out how, maybe I should start doing continuations. And yeah, I'm going to do that. Originally, I was going to do the continuations at 450 subscribers, but, I've kind of gotten a little bit hyped to do this, so I moved it down to 400. So, yeah, I haven't forgotten about you guys, and I never will, because when you guys subscribe, you guys become a part of my family. Really, I couldn't have gotten here without you. Back when I used to do gaming videos, quite often, like, I only did gaming videos, and I didn't get views, I didn't get likes, I just thought my channel was dead, I thought it was over, I didn't really care, so I just kind of stopped. And then I started watching What Ifs, and that encouraged me to try my own What Ifs, and my first What If I did got, like, maybe 119 views, with only 9 likes, but compared to my videos today, that may not seem like a lot, but to me, that was a lot. So, I did another series, and that was, What If Deku had a symbiote, or had Venom's symbiote, or whatever. And today, that's actually one of my most liked videos. I mean, not exactly, but it got a good, I think, 46 likes. So I decided to do part 2 to that video, not even too long ago. But, that was the beginning steps, and not too long after that, I hit 100 subscribers. And we kept climbing. Then I took my break, and I started really thinking about quitting, but because my views weren't doing good. But I never forgot about you guys. Within all of that, I never forgot about you guys. So here I am today, almost at 400 subscribers, almost at half of 1,000 subscribers, recording this video. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Because I decided to do a long intro, I'm gonna have to make this video at least a 30-minute long video to make up for it. So good luck to me, because I can hardly last 20 minutes. But when I get in depth into my what ifs, it doesn't matter how long my videos are. Once I get in depth, there's no stopping me. How are you doing, Clayton? Are you trying to get into my video? Shout out to that pilot up there. Wait a second, it looks like he's heading straight for a building. Oh, that ain't good. Hey guys, I'll be right back. Do 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 do. Okay, let's get into this. Okay. So, Deku was born, he was born into an assassin family. And Inko, she is one of the most dangerous assassins in the entire world. She has killed, before All Might became the number 1 hero, she was the one who took out the number 1 hero. I don't remember if that was Nana Shimura who was the number 1 hero. But I'm just gonna say it was some random hero. Back then, there wasn't a lot of heroes, so you could say the number 1 hero was pretty, he was maybe half of Deku's, I'm trying to think. He was about as strong as Endeavor. Yeah. He's about as strong as Endeavor. So, during one of Inko's missions, while she was on a mission, she found another assassin who was actually going for the same person as her. So they started talking, and eventually they got married. and became the perfect assassin, groom, and bride. And then they had Deku. And they had high hopes for Deku. Like, they had high hopes. Because both Inko and, I forgot his name. Both Inko and Deku's dad, were top-tier assassins. And Deku's grandma and grandpa were the best assassins. Like, they were the best assassins the world has ever seen. And all of them, everyone in this family, had top-tier quirks. Quirks that you could say were as OP as All For Ones. Not exactly, because All For One basically has an unlimited power quirk, because he can just constantly steal really good quirks. And then, there's All Might's quirk, which stockpiles quirks, the opposite of All For One's quirk. So both of those quirks are kind of unlimited. If they keep on getting passed down, they just get stronger and stronger. So as long as they get passed down, they basically have unlimited power. But their quirks, you could say, are like one step below All Might and All For One's powers. So yeah, they had high hopes for Deku. So when Deku's born, they immediately take him to the family doctor, because the doctor, basically they are billionaires because they take on jobs that literally, not even, like, the Endeavor plus, let me think here, plus Shigaraki could, handle. So, they are rich because of their jobs. They could make up to $1 billion each job, so. And they're rich. So I'm going to say Deku lives on a 150 acre lot with a mansion and at least 100 guards. Like 100 top trained guards with AR-15s, what are they called? Katanas, and on some occasion, grenades. Like that, and then they also have a top-tier security system, a giant wall around their mansion, and actually, no, I'm going to say they have 120 guards. Crap it. They're rich. They can handle themselves, but when they're not home, they want to make sure that their valuables are safe. So they have top-tier security, and no one's getting in. So yeah, Deku, I'm going to say, like, their butler is strong. Like, maybe as strong as, what's his name? Eraserhead. Yeah, I'm gonna say their butler is as strong as Eraserhead. But not, like, he doesn't have a quirk. He's just good in martial arts. So, every day, from the day he was, like, 2 years old, he would train with that butler. Constantly. The butler would teach him how to use a katana, would teach him how to use firearms, would teach him hand-to-hand combat, and then, every once in a while, Deku's dad would have him lift, from when he was, 4 years old, he was lifting at least 100 pounds, and punching the punching bag for almost 5 hours a day, and then he would go back inside and get constantly tortured because he didn't do good enough. Every single day, he would get tortured with, he would get, electrocuted, he would get whipped, whip, like the type of whips they would use for, cattle and stuff like that. And this is, a really strong one. And because Deku's dad is, strong, it hurts. And then, he would also get, punched. And Deku's dad is strong, so one punch could easily break Deku's rib. And, every day he would have to train with his quirk. I'm going to say the maid. The maid, I'm going to say, is as strong as... Ugh, gosh. Dang bug. I'm going to say the maid is as strong as... Man, I'm just forgetting everyone's name. Is as strong as... She's the lady... I'm going to say Mountain Lady. She's as strong as Mountain Lady. So, with her quirk, she's as strong as Mountain Lady. Like, her quirk, I'm going to say, gives her the ability to multiply her strength. Like, no... what should her quirk be, guys? Go ahead and leave that down in the comment section. What should her quirk be? So yeah. Every day she would train Deku with his quirk. And it's time to tell you guys what his quirk is. Deku's quirk allows him basically to use Shadow Clone Jutsu, but it's kind of like if Shadow Clone Jutsu and Twice had a baby. That's his quirk. So yeah. So Deku would, like, he has been trained, like, when he's at least 6 years old, he's able to use 50 clones with the power of a gorilla. That's their strength level. And then, actually, never mind. That's maybe for later on. So yeah. Deku, since, he started training, has been taking on jobs. So it went from, mediocre jobs like taking out a drunk guy to breaking in, stealing, and killing. Like, he's constantly doing that. So one day, he's looking at the job board in their house, and he sees the name All Might. And he has I'm going to say, $5 million bounty. And Deku's only been taking on, like, 100 grand bounties and stuff like that. So Deku's like, I can finally prove to my dad that I'm worth it. That I'm worth all the training. And this, I'm going to say, is an S-class. An S-class bounty. And there's, S-class, A-class, B-class, C-class, and F-class. And F is the lowest rank class, which normally stems from like 10 grand to 50 grand. And then, it starts going up to 1 million. And S class can normally go... Is today just a bad day to record or something? I get on a roll and there's helicopters, planes, and all that crap. Gosh. Okay, like I was saying. And then S-class can normally stem to 1 million, all the way up to 1 billion, to even $1 trillion. And Deku's dad told him never to go for the S-class. He can't do it till he's at least 13 years old. Because that's around the age that Deku's dad was doing S-class bounties. But Deku wants to prove to his dad that he's actually worth it, because every time he gets tortured, Deku's dad would mentally mess with him. Like, he'd be like, you're not worth it. You'll die you'll die during a bounty. Say stuff like that. So, Deku wants to prove to his dad that he is worth it, and that he will become a better bounty hunter than him. So, he's sneaking out, and then one of the guards finds him, and he's like, Master Deku, where do you think you are going? I have orders not to let you out past 10. And Deku's like, And then Deku comes up from behind him and, knocks him out with a single punch. And then Deku walks up to the clone and he's like, good job. And he high-fives the clone and the clone disappears. And then Deku runs off as fast as he can. And Deku's dad would always make him do a full lap like at least 10 laps around the 150-yard anchor lot each day. So yeah. And I don't exactly know how large that would be, so I'm trying to think here. Okay, I might make it 200 or maybe 250 because I want it to be big, and I mean big. So yeah, I'll just keep it at that. If you guys want, you guys can correct me with a good measurement that would be big. But if I got it correct, then yeah. Sorry. Back to the story. I need to stop getting sidetracked. Gosh, I'm sorry. Today I'm just not doing good with this. Ugh, gosh. So yeah. He's running, and then he comes across the maid. And the maid is like, I'm quite impressed, Deku. You did really good with your quirk exercise. I knew you would try to sneak out because I saw that S-Class was missing. And I know it wasn't your father because he was already out on a S-Class ranked thing before I was gone. And your mother is asleep. Hand it over and I will make sure you... And then all of a sudden, one of the clone punched her in the stomach, and then Deku came up from above and, like wrecked her. Like, he punched her straight in the, face and slammed her into the ground, knocking her out. Like, Deku is strong. So, yeah. So, he's running, and then he finally gets to the gate. And he starts climbing it, because he's also been having to climb the wall each and every time as a exercise. So Deku gets to the top of the wall, and he jumps down, and he starts running, till he eventually comes across the family car, which he gets in and drives to the destination where All Might is supposedly supposed to be. So he gets there, and he's doing a little bit of reconnaissance. Gosh, man. And he finds All Might. All Might's fighting a villain. And Deku's like, this is a perfect time. So he grabs a sniper. And he loads it. Like, this is like a 50 cal sniper. And he aims in. And then all of a sudden, All Might's gone. And so is the villain. He's like looking around. And then All Might is like, what are you doing, kid? Don't you think you're a little bit young to be playing with firearms? And then All Might steps on the gun's barrel. And Deku's like, I didn't even see him. And then Deku does and then the clone, disappears, and Deku is behind All Might, and he punches All Might in the back. And, Deku, screeches in pain, and he's like, ah, man! I didn't know he was so strong. And this is before Deku had All Might had the fight. Because Deku is 6 right now. And then Deku decides, alright, it's time to break out my secret weapon. I'm going to call it, 70 Clone Rush. 70 Clone Rush. And then Deku screams out, 70 Clone Rush! And then, 70 clones appear around All Might. And All Might's like, ooh, this could be a problem. And then, all of the clones pull out, AR-15s. And they start lighting up All Might. And then all of a sudden, all the clones just start dropping and dropping and dropping. Because All Might, jumped out of the way as soon as they started firing. And, all the clones are getting, blown, their heads are getting blown off just because they're all missing, and they keep on hitting each other. Because they circled All Might. So imagine what would happen if a bunch of people, 70 people with guns, circled someone, and this person is fast enough to jump in the blink of an eye and you can't even see it, and you couldn't even see them move. Imagine what would happen. Yeah, there would be friendly fire. And Deku's like, crap, where did he go? And then All Might grabs Deku by the shirt and says, kid, it's hard to tell whether you're a villain or a kid. I don't even know. And he slams Deku into the ground, but Deku, like, flips around Deku's arm, and he's like, wait, what? And he punches punches All Might straight. I don't know why I keep on mixing them up. It's almost like All Might is Deku's father. Dun, dun, dun! Okay, so, Deku punches All Might square in the chin, and All Might's like, crap. And Deku's like, ugh, that hurt. And then he punches All Might in the chest, and then another clone jumps on top of All Might and grabs him by the throat, and he's trying to chokehold him. But then All Might starts spinning really fast, and then he's like, Delaware, smash! And he smashes the clone into millions of bits. And then, like, the clones that survived, at least 30 clones survived. They all start rushing All Might, and they all grab a hold of All Might to keep him down as Deku, like, starts punching him. And then Deku pulls out a knife and stabs All Might, like, right in the, like, arm, like, the, shoulder. Like, he stabs All Might right in the shoulder. And then All Might throws all the clones off of him and does, like, 50 punches and knocks all the clones into little bits, and then All Might launches at Deku, and without realizing how much power he was using, he does a 100% Detroit smash on Deku, destroying Deku's body, and launching Deku at least, so I'm gonna say this, takes, where should it, like, they were on a, like, kind of like a little, okay, I'm just gonna say he gets launched 100 mile, like, no, at least 20 miles away. He gets knocked 20 miles away. This isn't scripted, so that's why I'm having trouble with some of the stuff. So yeah, he gets knocked 20 miles away. Every bone in Deku's body is broken. Deku's lungs have been punctured by one of his ribs. Deku's heart is, like, beating really slowly. Deku's brain is, like, jam. Is, like, it's literally jam. It's a slushy. Like, it's done for. And then he gets, like, he smashes straight through a building, knocking the building down. And then Deku's dad is watching the TV. He kills his bounty. And then he's just kind of watching the TV, and then he notices that was Deku. So he, like, launches towards Deku's last known location. And he finds Deku, like, I'm going to say he was almost 100 miles away. And with one simple dash, he's there. That's how strong Deku's dad is. And Deku's dad's quirk is, I'm going to say, is speed projection. Basically, Deku's dad is able to run faster than, like, Mach 7, and is able to make projections of himself, and within that speed, he's able to punch as hard as All Might could at 100%. But he has to be going past Mach 7, like, at least past Mach 5. Because in case you guys didn't know, the faster you're going, the stronger the punch will be. So say Hulk was as fast as the Flash, Hulk would be able to probably destroy the world without even being in his Hulk or World Breaker form. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's right. I heard somewhere that the faster you go, the stronger the punch, or something. I don't know. So yeah. So Deku's dad gets there before All Might could find Deku, and he immediately takes Deku back to the manor. And he takes him straight to the doctor, which was asleep, and he's like, what happened to Deku? And the guards are like, we're so sorry, boss, we couldn't. And then all of a sudden, both of their hearts are ripped straight out of their straight out of their bodies. And Deku's dad crushes both of the hearts in his hand and says, no excuses. I said not to let him leave. And then he kicks both of the bodies to the ground. And then Deku's dad says he better survive this. He walks out to go get Inko. So the doctor's like, oh crap, this is going to be difficult. So he begins a procedure. And the doctor has been studying the robots, like the robot industry. And within his research, he found that you can transfer a human into a robot. So he's beginning that procedure. So right now he's taking the organs out of Deku's body. And he grabs Deku's head, puts it, plugs all these things into it, puts it into a secure thing, and locks it so Deku's brainwaves would stay alive. So then the doctor, hooks up all of his organs to a machine to keep them going. And then the doctor begins on the robot piece. So he's made it where he'll be able to use his quirk, and also the hand can turn into basically a sword. All the fingers will connect and then become sharpened so they can stab through people. And he's also giving Deku an extra quirk, because I'm going to say he's been working with One for All, or All for One, a little bit, and he got a quirk, and this quirk is called Shadow. It allows the user to become a shadow and turn other people into shadows. And this shadow form increases their strength, increases their speed, but it lowers down their their HP, their health. They can't if they get hit once by, say, a gun, one hit to the head, they're done. They poof, and then they reform into their normal bodies. So, the doctor is giving him this quirk. So, he starts putting the organs into the body, and he names this robot Revenant. So, he starts connecting the brainwaves to the robot, and then all of a sudden, the eyes open up, and they're this yellow glow. And then the robot, and the robot says, where am I? What happened? Wasn't I fighting All Might a second? And then all of a sudden, a katana is right to Deku's neck, right to Deku's robotic neck. And Deku's dad, with piercing red eyes, is I told you never to go for the S-class rewards. And then Deku's I'm sorry, I wanted you to know that I am worth it. And Deku's dad is I don't care. And just because you can't feel pain anymore doesn't mean I won't torture you with electronic pulses. I will make sure that you get your proper execution. But I can't kill you because you're my son. Either way. Gosh. You scared me, Deku. You scared me. Don't ever do that again. Alright? Here's your next job. And he sets it on the table and he's first, learn how to use your robotics and your new quirk. Because once you know how to use it... No, drop it. Drop it. Give it. Good boy. Good boys. Good boys. Don't. Why are you trying to eat the rocks? You're not allowed to eat the rocks. So, yeah, like I was saying, you're going to have to apply for UA. Because your next job will be to take out a villain. And right now, that villain is being watched heavily by police and heroes. So you won't be able to take him out unless you are the hero protecting him. Or the one who will give him the proper sentence the judge seems to not be able to give him. So Deku's like, even after all this, you're still gonna give me a job? And Deku's dad is like, yes. After all, we need to keep the reputation of our family alive. So if you stop doing jobs, you might get rusty. So hurry up. And Deku is like, all right, I'll do my best. And Deku's dad is like, no. You always do your best. And he walks out. So immediately, Deku gets to work on learning how to use his new body. So he'll constantly, now his punches are 10 times stronger. When he hits the punching bag, it knocks the punching bag, right off the hook and breaks the punching bag. So he constantly needs a new punching bag. So yeah. He also learned how to use his, little knife hand, I guess you could say. I don't know what he calls it exactly. Yeah. Oh well. And he also learned a little bit of how to use his shadow quirk, but he doesn't know, how to turn other people into shadows. So yeah. One day, he's walking home from an assassination mission, and he's pondering UA, because he just put in his paperwork for the sign-ups. So he's thinking about the 10 months of preparation, and then all of a sudden this sludge villain pops out, and he's like, ugh, I need a new body, what the? And Deku's just kind of looking at him, and he's like, how ugly could a person get? I thought I've seen ugly, but no, you are 100 times uglier. And the sludge villain's like, speak for yourself, you robot brain. And Deku's like, robot? I'm human. And the sludge villain's like, he must have some kind of transformation quirk. Ooh, that'll be kind of useful to blend in. And he's like, give me your body! And then all of a sudden, Deku's, out of the way. Because I'm gonna, actually, never mind. And he's like, that's not very nice. And Deku's, looking at his, little artifact he got from the last mission. He's like, I wonder what this does. And then all of a sudden, the sludge villain's like, what's happening to me? What's happening? It's agonizing pain. And then all of a sudden, the sludge starts turning to black, black ooze. It's not even, it's starting to turn to a gas form. And then all of a sudden, the sludge villain's eyes are turning orange as the sludge villain screams in agony. And he turns into a shadow. And Deku's like, what the? Is this some kind of quirk enhancement? And then, but since Deku doesn't know how to use it, he drops it. And then the sludge villain turns back and he's like, what the? I'm gonna kill you. And then Deku grabs the artifact, puts it back in his storage. I don't exactly, I'm just gonna say that the doctor gave him somewhere to put, stuff in. I'm just gonna say he carries a little robotic chest in his back, so he can put stuff that he got from the mission in there. So he puts it in there, and then he makes 10 clones of himself, which all combine their fist, or all combine their strength into one punch. All 10 of them punch at the same time, blowing one humongous hole into the sludge villain. And the sludge villain's like, what kind of quirk do you have? First off, you put me in agonizing pain and I black out. And then I come back to see that you can, make clones of yourself? That'll be very useful. So give me your body already. And he launches at Deku, but Deku dodges and starts to try and slash at the sludge villain with his hand. And he's like, why is this not doing anything? It's just kind of slashing at water. It's not doing anything. And he's like, dang it. And he jumps back, and he's like, what should my next plan be? And one of his clones is like, maybe you should create 50 of us, and we all rush him at the same time. And Deku's like, good idea. Thanks for the suggestion. And then Deku creates like 50 clones, and all of them launch at the sludge villain. And they all start like punching the sludge villain. One of the clones gets captured, and then Deku evaporates it into his body, because all of the clones have at least maybe 1% of his power. Or no, they have a certain percentage of his power in them. So depending on, what he wants to do with them. Their normal power without any of his percentage is at least the strength of a gorilla. A male gorilla. That's their normal power. But with at least 1%, their power kind of goes up to the bite force of an alligator. Just put that bite force into a punch, and that's their strength at 1%. So yeah, all of these clones at least have 1%. So Deku just got 1% of his power back. And Deku's, punching the sludge villain, and then the sludge villain's like, there you are! And he grabs Deku, and he's like, and then Deku's like, this ain't good. And then the sludge villain's like, I'll make you pay for that, kid. And he starts trying to, get into Deku, but he's like, why can't I not get into you? And then all of a sudden Deku, the sludge villain forcefully opens Deku's mouth, which it would be pretty dang hard to do, because Deku is a robot. So, the sludge villain starts crawling into Deku, but then All Might appears. And All Might's like, I am here! What the? Is this two villains fighting? Well, either way, Delaware smash! And he destroys the sludge villain. And Deku falls to the ground. And all of Deku's clones evaporate and come back inside of him. And All Might's like, what happened to you? Kid? Adult? What's your name? My name is Revenant. As that's kind of the code name he goes by. And All Might's like, okay, Revenant, what happened here? And then All Might remembers his timer, and he's like, well, either way, you did a good job holding up. So, I got to, go bring this guy to justice, as he scoops the sludge villain up in a jar and puts the lid on. And, All Might is like, alright, Revenant, I have to go. And Deku remembers what All Might did to him, and he's like, do you ever have regrets to what you did to that kid? And All Might's like, what kid? And Revenant says, this kid. And all of a sudden, a projector comes up on his hand, and he's like, and All Might's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. How come? Do you know him? Do you know whatever happened to him? And Deku says, forget it. And he crushes the projector and throws it to the ground as he starts walking away. All Might's like, it's weird. Why did he bring up that kid? As he starts, kind of thinking, what if this kid is that kid? I mean, it would explain why he looks like a robot. But then All Might's like, oh crap, my time limit. And he jumps away. As All Might's just as Deku's just kind of walking away, I will get my revenge. When I'm strong enough, I'm going to kill All Might. No, I'm going to kill everyone with a cork. As he starts walking away. So I'm just gonna say, Deku thinks that corks are kind of like a disease a little bit. He thinks that heroes' corks are diseases. Anyone who decides, I don't know. I'm just gonna say Deku has just a pure hatred for heroes after what All Might did to him. Like, he doesn't know that he's a robot, because in case you guys did not know, Revenant did not know he was a robot before the whole Season 4 trailer. He didn't know he was a robot. He was just living out his life normally. And then, his, little screen projector gets broken in a fight, and he sees who he truly is. A Hammond robotics. And, or what do they call them? They're basically like robots, but with human conscience in them. So, yeah. That's where I'm going to leave it off for this episode. Since you watched it this far, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. And while you're at it, United States of, smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. If you guys think I need to redo this, please let me know. I did stutter a lot. There was constantly planes and helicopters flying over. I didn't really know where I was going with this today, because I constantly had to retry this because I kept on failing. I kept on saying the wrong thing and messing up, and I kept on having to retry. This is the first successful recording I had, so the only one that made it this far, at least. So if you guys think I need to redo this, then let me know. Maybe I had it go on for too long. Just let me know. So yeah.